last 24 hours. Powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.
A gitten Chanukah. Today is Monday, the first light of Chanukah, and it's Parshas Miketz, Chufay Kislev Tuvshin Pai Vov, and it's December 15th, 2025, Le Mispura. My name is Gershy Schwarcz, and I'm your host on Edge. Last night, we have released an emergency report on Edge about the Australian terror attack on our Jewish brothers and sisters in Sydney. Hashem Yinkim Dumam, and a refuge shalom for those still in hospital fighting for their lives. And we finished the Yiddish episode, only on Edge, with making the Hagrula, the goyrel that we have announced throughout the week for Pen Pal, and the winner has already been informed, and he's on his way to get his Pen Pal library in Yiddish with a Pen Pal device. So Mazel Tov. Okay, we made this breaking. We do this sometimes when there's breaking news. Sometimes we do this, and we release it in English and in Yiddish. Okay, it's available, you know where, Yiddish24 and on YouTube. A Yom Tov of lights turns into a nightmare of darkness in Sydney. ISIS is targeting Americans again, and police are scrambling to find a shooter after what they thought they've already caught the shooter, but they released him because he wasn't the one at Brown University College in America, here in America. We are also tracking a global rise in hate crimes and major peace talks in Europe with Zelensky on the table, on the table. And here is what you need to know about first. Getting a swing set and outdoor play set, for your children in your backyard. Seems like a stretch. Nah, swing it. That's the sponsor. You can get any outdoor play set or playscapes. You call it playscapes for your children. So now the winter is, by the way, a great time to get it. Just don't wait for the summer. People wait for the summer rush, Anyway, they offer a payment plan, which is a great thing. A payment plan for buying a swing set. I know it's expensive. Sometimes you think, a big sum of money at once, but no, it's a soft credit pull that does not hurt your credit at all. So it's easy to get, and easy to get approved. So call them today, 1-833-752-9738, and say on Edge, okay? Again, 1-833-752-9738. Let's jump right to it. We'll begin with Sydney, Australia, where we have already reported a Lechtige Chanukah event was turned into a scene of darkness and horror. We already made a special report last night about this. I'm saying it again, so for those of you who didn't watch it, can go watch it. Just one episode before this one, and I'll update you with some developing details only. Now, I just want to start with this. ISIS terrorists are the worst of the worst. They embed themselves into society, follow the laws, obtain guns legally, quietly, behave like good-class citizens, and then, when the government says that they are not a threat, when they find, let's say, the guns on them or whatever it is, when they find certain things about them that doesn't smell right, they say, oh no, the good class citizens have no criminal record whatsoever. And that is when they attack. On Sunday, during a Chanukah by the Sea celebration organized by the Chabad Rabbi, Reb Eli Schlanger of Bondi, Zeiche Tzadik, a true shliach Elokim, I would call him. Two ISIS terrorists opened fire on a crowd of 1,000 people who attended at the beach. The details are painful. 15 people have been confirmed dead and over 40 injured. The Kedoshim are so far identified. We have the names include Rabbi Eli Schlanger, who I just mentioned, a father of 5, just had a baby boy, made a bris, and Chabad Shliach known for constant community work. Matilda, a 10-year-old Yiddish Meidele from Russia, joyful, a happy child, Nebuch, her life taken away so soon. Alex Kleitman, 87 years old, a Holocaust survivor, and Dan Eliakim, a French national, Dan Eliakim, who came to visit Australia just for Chanukah, for the Chabad Australia, to join Chabad for Chanukah, also taken away so soon. Rabbi Yaakov Levitan, Zeiche Tzadik, also Chabad Shliach, and other Chabad members, Reuven Morrison and Peter Miga, and others who I don't know the names yet. Hashem Yinkim Dumam. And may Hashem send a refuge shalom to those who are still in hospital, and please daven for them. The attackers have been identified as a father and a son, Sajid Akram, 50 years old, and his son, Navid Akram, a 24-year-old. Police found an ISIS flag in their vehicle when they found the bomb, which they disarmed right away. The 2 IEDs that I mentioned yesterday in the report. You can hear a full report on it in the yesterday's segment. And they had pledged allegiance to the terror group, to the ISIS terror group. The shooter's mother said, anyone would wish to have a son like my son. She said, he doesn't have a firearm. He doesn't even go out. He doesn't mix around with friends. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't go to bad places. He goes to work. He comes home. He goes to exercise. And that's it. Like I said before, classic ISIS move. I mean, of course, he doesn't associate with friends. He behaves like a good kid. But he has dark plans. So never trust the darkness. It's dark for a reason, because you can't see it. But amidst the darkness, there was a spark of light. The carnage was stopped by a bystander, Ahmed al-Ahmed, a Muslim fruit shop owner. He ran towards the gunfire, tackled one of the terrorists, and pinned him down, even though he was shot twice while doing so. There's a video of it. You can see him doing it. His parents said their son was very brave and that he had some policing background which sharpened his instincts and his his conscience drove him to intervene. I'm sorry about that. And it is confirmed that he is a Muslim who came into Australia as an immigrant from Syria and is now an Australian citizen. Bill Ackman, a rich New Yorker, billionaire from New York, set up a fund for heroes, especially for him. The fund was set up to support him, this hero, and encourage more heroism. And has gotten almost $1.5 million so far. It's an amazing thing. Australia says they will make their gun laws even more stricter than it was. Ilhan Omar put out a statement yesterday as well, blaming the gun control. On the second night of Hanukkah, remember in Australia today ahead of us, so the second night of Hanukkah already happened. Candles were lit at Sydney's Bondi Pavilion, right where the shooting happened. To just commemorate and to say that, we're not afraid. We're not afraid of the darkness. We continue with our light. We continue spreading the light of Hanukkah. Another ISIS terrorist attack happened on Motzei Shabbos when 2 U.S. soldiers and a civilian translator were killed after a gunman opened fire on them, near the ancient city of Palmyra in Syria. President Trump promised very serious retaliation, calling the victims great patriots. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave a warning to the terrorists, saying, the United States will hunt you and find you and ruthlessly kill you. Somebody posted on X saying, today is a good day to kill some terrorists. So Pete Hegseth reposted that, responding saying, every day is a good day. And we're on it. In other words, he's saying we're on it. We're doing it right now. The attacker was an ISIS infiltrator hiding inside the local Syrian security forces, and he was shot dead during the fight. And another shooting happened on Shabbos. A shooting in Brown University in Rhode Island. 2 students are dead now, and 9 others are wounded after a gunman walked into the final exams into the hall and opened fire. Police thought they had the shooter, but there's somebody called Benjamin. They arrested a man named Benjamin at a nearby hotel and questioned him for hours. They even made his name public and his picture public. But then they apologized and say that they had the wrong guy. They announced last night that they had the wrong person and that they let him go. They made a mistake. The manhunt for the shooter continues. Let's talk about what doesn't continue if you don't have a guide. Reb David Wanunu, 845-414-8100. Get a business coach. You need one. 845-414-8100. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met today in Yerushalayim with Tom Barak, the United States ambassador to Turkey, and a special envoy for Syria to discuss the second phase of the Gaza ceasefire and when it will be implemented. For now, we know that Hamas has confirmed that one of their members have been shot. Yesterday an attack that the Israelis carried out. And also, they have said that they're ready to go to the table to the second phase of the ceasefire, but they say that the Israelis are doing everything they can to disrupt that, to disturb the next second phase. Of course, they're saying that. Peace talks on the Ukrainian war, the Ukrainian and Russian war, also happening today in Berlin between Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and United States envoy Steve Witkoff, with Jared Kushner at the table. The two sides already held about 5 hours of negotiations on Sunday and agreed to meet again on Monday after Witkoff said that a lot of progress was made in the first round. So let's see what happens in the second round. Hong Kong's High Court has convicted a pro-democracy influencer named Jimmy Lai. He was found, I think it's pronounced Lai, he was found guilty on national security and sedition charges. Governments in the United States and Britain, along with major human rights groups, say the case is political. President Donald J. Trump said, "I'm going to do everything I can to save him." Not the first case, Donald J. Trump. Political case. Donald Trump is trying to save from foreign, outside of America. In Los Angeles, a very well-known and Jewish film director, Rob Reiner, and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, both Jewish, were found murdered in their Brentwood home on Sunday. They were both stabbed to death by their own son. 32-year-old Nick, his name is, who suffered from severe mental illnesses and who was arrested later. A quick word from our sponsors. Shawarma Delight, 26 Spring Valley Marketplace. Sorry, I'm saying for the story that I'm reporting. It's hard for me to report such news. But let's go a little bit easy. Take a Shawarma Delight, Hanukkah today. And it's in Spring Valley Marketplace. Place an order on sdny.store. YS Capital Group, 718-831-2168. 718-831-2168. Arrive Express, 845-622-1111. 845-254-1111. Protobyte, 347-354-1237. For webinar development. Okay, anti-Semitic incidents are now spreading across the world. In Amsterdam, a huge anti-Israel protest turned violent and 22 people were arrested. This was outside the Royal something, I think I can pronounce it, Concert Gabo Concert Hall during a Hanukkah concert where an IDF chief cantor, a chazan, Shai Abramson, has performed. In Redlands, California, a Jewish family's home, decorated with Hanukkah lights and celebrations, were hit by gunfire from a passing car. Go back. Yeah, that's the one. Were hit by a passing car. Police think the weapon was an airsoft handgun, not a live firearm. Baruch Hashem, nobody was hurt. Police labeled the attack as a hate crime because the house was clearly marked with Hanukkah decorations. The FBI says it caught 4 alleged members of a radical pro-Palestinian extremist group who are accused of planning a coordinated New Year's Eve's bombing in LA, Los Angeles. Chile had a major political shift. Chile. Jose Antonio Cast won Chile's presidential runoff with about 58%, defeating leftist candidates with about 42%. His campaign focused on crime, border enforcement, and immigration crackdowns, and markets reacted positively to expectations of more pro-business policy in Chile. UK financial news: Britain is setting a timeline for crypto oversight. The UK government says the regulation of crypto assets will start in October 2027, part of a broader push to bring crypto into a clearer rulebook. India and France reached a deal to revise the 1992 tax treaty. Okay, this is just finance news in the world. Facts of the day. Today, the first day of Hanukkah, is the Yutzad of Reb Shlomo Zalman of Vilna. Passed away in 1758, the father of Vilna Gaon. On the same day is also the Yutzad of Reb Avrum ben Reb Eliyahu, the son of the Vilna Gaon. So the father and the son, both, well, the Vilna Gaon himself, no, but yeah. Also Reb Shlim Zish of Natvana, the Rebbe of Natvana. And Reb Yochanan ben Reb David Mordechai Tversky, the Talmud Rebbe, also his Yutzad today. Zeiche Zichroinom Levrucha, Zeiche Tzadik Vekudish Levrucha, for all the Tzadikim, made in the Shumas, have an Ali and be a Melech Yosha, and all of us, and especially the Kedoshim that died on the first day of Hanukkah as well. May the Neshumas have an Aliyah and be a Melech Yosha for all of us down here and protect us all. Bring Mashiach Tzedkani. And the Mishkan was also finished today, so may the Beis HaMikdash be finished and built, and we should go to Yerushalayim and HaKodesh from here. We made it together. We'll see each other Be'ezrat Hashem Yispuruch tomorrow on Edge. Thank you so much for joining us.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.